All right, so next we got coming in an RV that we're going to do an inspection on. It's a Country Coach RV. So Country Coach used to do a lot of Prevos where they converted them to the RVs, and then they changed. They were making their own motorhomes. They have a Dynamax chassis. This is a one of those. It's a Magna 43, so it's like 43 feet long. We've had a couple others in here before, but you know he bought it at an RV dealership. In Florida, they don't really sell buses or type stuff, and it's used. The previous owner had died, so a lot of unknown history. So he's just bringing it in for an inspection. He's staying in the Nashville area here, so he's going to bring it in. We're going to do the inspection. It takes a little while to get parts for these sometimes, so we're going to do the inspection, see what it needs, and then he's going to come back in a couple months after the summer here and get all the work done on it. So we're going to go through it and see what he's going to need, what he's going to order. Hopefully there won't be any major safety issues that we come across. But again, it's a Country Coach RV. I hope you enjoy this inspection video. Well, the rear suspension stayed aired up overnight. The front suspension did come down on it. It's got a couple of slides on it, and we had them plugged into 50 amp power. We're going to start it up here in the morning. First thing, we'll see how it does. It sure started up easy. That's good. Nice cranking power. So we're going to get it in here and pull the tires off and see what's going on underneath. Check out the chassis on it. Well, right off the bat, as soon as we got the front wheel off here, the kingpin was good. We checked that on it. But look at all this rust here on the brake rotor. The brake pads are not making full contact with everything on here. There's a lot of unusual wear going on here, and that's not good. So this rotor is going to need to be replaced. We don't have a place that can turn them, and they're relatively inexpensive compared to the labor of taking it off, taking it somewhere, having it turned, and then the liability, plus all the heat checking that's on it. There's some pretty good cracks in it and stuff too, so replace the rotor on it. Okay, yeah, so obviously rotors and pads for the other front side, but you don't want to do just one side, so it'll be both sides on the front, but we're probably going to find something similar over here on this side. Checking the kingpin, good thing, kingpins are good. This thing has less than 30,000 miles on it, I think, so very, very low mileage. The airbags need to be replaced. They're really crappy. Extremely dry rotted cracking. These are original, so, and they're actually, we're going to spray them down here and check for leaks. But the front suspension aired down overnight, so we got to figure out why that's happening too. But I suspect we're going to find some air leaks on the airbags or the leveling valve, something like that. But these are original rubber. You know, it's time to be replaced. Yeah, you can see these little marks here. There's actually a corner of underneath the airbag that when it hits a big pothole or it deflates, it rubs on there. But yeah, that needs to be replaced. But checking things out here, the bushings, they all look good. It looks like torn rubber there, but that's actually just paint that's flaking off on it. So the rubber's in really good shape on all the bushings, uppers and lowers. So we see a lot of problems on Prevos where those bushings are shot, but these are actually really, really good shape. Yeah, that's flaky paint on there, not torn rubber. The ball joints and everything look good, tie rod ends, all that stuff. Some of it maybe hasn't been greased in a while or just grease plopped on top of them, so we'll go through and grease everything up. But yeah, everything on the front end looks good. It's just the brakes that are the issues, and then the old rubber parts, the airbags. The sway bar links, sway bar bushings, all that stuff look really good. The rubber on that looks good. Here's the brake rotor, the front one on the other side. We don't have full contact either. Again, you see that outside, maybe 10% of it isn't, the pad isn't engaging there. The back side looks better, but there's still a portion of the top where it's not actually touching. So yeah, we're not getting full engagement here on the brakes, and we typically see this, so these things get rusted. The pin kits need to be replaced on these calipers. They're torn, the boots are torn and they're rusted. They are sticking a little bit. This bushing here looks good. Again, that's just paint. Paint up in there, I can touch it and it just, yeah, flakes right off like that. Yeah, rubber bushings look good. Shocks look decent. There's nothing leaking on them. They're Conies. Conies are really good shocks. Airbag, same thing on this side. A lot of cracking and dry rot rubber there. And you can see where that's kind of been rubbing on that perch underneath of it. When it airs down or hits a big pothole, that steel beam goes up against it. You can see that clean mark on there. That's exactly what that's from. So new airbags. Looks pretty good. Yeah, here we have the Stemco cap is leaking, so there's oil around there, but that's just the cap, so that's not too bad. We'll probably just put a new gasket on it. We're checking the airbags again for leaks. This is the airbag mounts. There's an in and an out on these airbags, but I don't see any leaks on those fittings or anything. We'll replace those though when we put the new airbags on. We'll have to have new push to connect fittings. You can't reuse those old ones. They just leak when you do that. This is the airbag on the other side. It looks pretty good as well. I don't see any big leaks or anything. So let's spray the airbags themselves down, and then we're going to spray the leveling valve down. And here I do see some little air leaks coming through the airbag. You'll see these little white dots start to appear on the airbag, and that's small amounts of air leaking through the rubber skin of the airbag, which is kind of what yeah, those little dots right there. That's what happens when it starts leaking through the airbag. They're right on some like cords inside there and stuff, so and that's where it bends and flexes up against that bracket. So the rubber's just worn too much there. So here you'll see me, I'll go ahead and spray it down and give it a little blast here, and then you'll see those dots reappear. Just give it a second here. Yeah, they're starting to form back up there. The lighting's not quite as good here. Let me get a better angle on it. Yeah, you see the dots. Yeah, all those little real bright white dots there. That's air leaking through. But it's old rubber anyway. It just needs to be replaced. I don't think it's a safety hazard you have to worry about for the next month or two, but you definitely want to get these replaced. Here's this rear airbag, same condition. These are original. You got this dry rot, cracky kind of rubber on it. They're over 20 years old, so you want to replace them. If you push them beyond 10 to 12 years, you're risking your trip. It's going to take you a couple days to get the part and then get somebody to put them on there. You're just going to ruin a vacation. And then this bracket, I don't know what this is. We're going to remove this. This is just waiting to fall off and go through a tire and ruin your trip too. The wheel seals look good. Wheel seals not leaking on here. Brakes look like they're properly adjusted. Stemco cap, maybe slight leak back behind there. Yeah, we just sprayed the airbags down, but we knew these held air overnight, and just that same, all the rubber is going to get replaced, the airbags. Here's a closer look at some of the heat checking cracks in that front brake rotor. Quite a lot of heat checking. They're not allowed to be more than 75% of the distance, but some of these are excessive in their depth and scale too. And then you see that whole outside edge where the brake pad is not making surface contact. So even if the other side wasn't bad, this would probably go ahead and need it to be replaced anyways. Wasn't torque. Pretty rough inside there. Let's see if you can... Is that what you needed, Scott? Yes. That's pretty rigidy, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to replace these drums and the shoes, but look how skinny these drums are. We're used to these big, thick, massive brake drums. These are so skinny. I don't like that at all. Is that a modern thing? I think, you know, these are hub centered, not stud pilot, but I'm not used to seeing brake drums that thin.
Yeah, every 30 minutes that thing kicks on.
Yep, that's leaking bad.
I figured it was.
This is why that front suspension comes down overnight. That front leveling valve was leaking on the seam of it there. We tried tightening down the screws on it, but it didn't stop it. So we're going to order a new leveling valve for the front. So we're going to check for the preload adjustment on these wheel bearings. We'll just do it kind of down and dirty way here. We'll put the dial caliper on it. We'll pull and push on the hubs, and if they move in and out, then we'll know that something further for us to look at. But if we're more than a couple thousandths, then we'll know to look at it. Okay, now push and pull on it. Push and pull on it. Okay.
That's 8.
And then push on it. Can't see that gauge.
5.
What is it?
5.
So you're 5 that way and then 8 the other way?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one needs to be readjusted. That's 10.
11.
Yeah, 11, 12. Yeah, okay. That one has to be readjusted. Push on it. So we're about, that's about 16 either way swing, right?
Yeah.
About 3.
Mm-hmm.
You might be turning the wheel a little too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And then just try to hand tighten that. Yeah, that was way, way off. That's all we need. Yep. There's a tiny little lock nut. Little Allen head there. That's probably one of those there. Get it. Blue Loctite on it.
Both of those back there are going to get switched out with something different.
What now?
Both of those back there are going to get switched out with something different.
Yeah.
Because they're straight up, but I don't even think if you turn the wheel all the way you'd be able to get it.
We're gonna need a 90-degree fitting on it.
Yeah.
So I put a 90-degree fitting on there. It had a straight one, and because of the limited space it's in, even if you turn the wheel all the way one way, it's going to be very hard to get to, and I can tell by the way that boot looks down there, it's not been getting greased. So yeah, you can't get a grease gun on it. So now we put a 90-degree fitting, it'll be real easy for people to grease it. Okay, so now that boot's got grease in it. I had to put a 45 on it. I put a 90 in it, but it's kind of recessed in there low, and because it's low like that, the 90, I couldn't get it on it. So I had to go with 45. Yeah, the boot on the caliper here is torn. You can see rust up under there. These are the tag brakes that has that really bad drum that we're going to replace. Obviously, we're going to replace these linings too. But yeah, look how chewed up they are. Just they're grooved and it needs to be replaced. So we didn't do much work. We greased the chassis, we just did the inspection on it. We did go ahead and adjust those couple wheel bearings on there. He wanted us to rotate his tires. He's got a little bit of scalping or feathering on his rear tires. They're brand new tires, Michelin's. He's only got like 5,000 miles on them. But yeah, the feathering is kind of weird on them. So we went ahead and rotated the tires and we'll see how that does. Both the tag axles were way out of adjustment on the wheel bearings. So the tags might've been steering it a little back there. I'm not really sure. We'll have to look at it. We're gonna go ahead and replace the rear shocks on it because it has that scalloping on those tires. Usually that's a shock issue. So we're gonna replace those conies. You know, they're over 20 years old. So even though they didn't look like they were bad, let's just go ahead and replace them, be safe. Okay, we did that in less than a day. So they're gonna head out now. We'll have them come back in a couple months. We're gonna get all those parts ordered. So we got everything stocked up here so we can just tackle it real quick when he comes back in. So hopefully just like a two-day job maybe. We'll see. Yeah, this looks beautiful going down the road. This is our curvy little road here, but yeah, it's a nice looking RV. A couple safety issues. I mean, if I had the parts here, I'd replace those brakes, but they got some doctor's appointments they got to get to and stuff, so we got to get them out of here. But yeah, it's going to be a lot safer as soon as we get it back in here. But they're just going to the other side of Nashville where they're staying, and then they're going to come back in, like I said, in a couple months before the summer's over.